All right, guys. Hey, good morning. It's day number 2 of hauling manure. Like I said in the description of the last video, I really enjoy hauling manure. The lagoon is right here. You had the original dairy barn, and then there used to be, you can see the concrete line. We poured this in when we poured the shop. Zoom out. And there used to be a bunk here, and then we had the feeders come out in the 70s, 60s and 70s and 80s. Had a conveyor come from the silos and came out, and they had that trough and had that Pat's thing that moved back and forth. And then we had when I was a little kid, my job was to take the Farmall 350 in the back blade and scrape the manure up, because it was just soupy manure. We never bedded out here because it's just the dairy cows. The lean-to wasn't here, and then it wrapped the pasture around the barn. And then you had that was the dry cow pasture back there, and then the dry cow barn and calf barn and maternity pens in the little addition. Then we had I'd scrape all the manure up and push it down the concrete runway into the lagoon. And man, when it came time to haul lagoon in the fall, oh my gosh, it that's the only time I would beat Dad to the barn to get my calves fed and the chores done. And then I would be putting fuel in the tractors, getting tractors warmed up, and get the agitator started. And I would already have loads out, and they're just like, slow down, take it easy. And then at nighttime, almost had to drag me out of the tractor. You guys know what that was like. But yeah, it's whatever. So let's get things fired up here and going. See if we can't. Come on, old girl. That little 4-cylinder. Might have to let the glow plugs heat up on the utility tractor here. My filthy cab. Whew. Cold start. There we go. Grab my headphones and so I can get my morning show on the radio. We'll get this spreader filled up and get going. I'll try and grab a bucket with one hand, but it's stick steer plus loader plus transmission, and we'll just put it. So you got a mechanical transmission with a 2-speed and a reverser. So you got low, high, neutral, reverse. That's automatic. So I'll put in granny gear and we'll see if I can't do this one-handed. Thing slides around nice on the concrete. Slides around real nice. done so I can get something done today. All right, so the H is still getting it done. This little tree spot here, we want to clean that out. I don't know why, it was just a little tree grove that was here my whole life. When we came in with chopper boxes, you just came around and came to the silos here. And that was nice, you know, when you only had a 12-foot chopper box. But with the grain building going on back here, we're trying to build a little grain facility and using the silos. I want to clean this out, wipe these dozen trees out of here, and the little H. It can't lift the auger, so I have to lift it with another tractor and then put the H on it just to run the auger. Get these little trees out of here, and then what we want to do is the pasture that the steers are on, all the equipment is right next to them, so get all the equipment out to here, the old dry cow pasture. That way we can expand the steer pasture right up by the lagoon, by these pine trees and stuff over here, and eventually tie it to the headland of this field, because someday this field will be fenced in as well. But then with all the equipment over here in the old dry cow pasture, bring a driveway off the road. That way grain trucks can come in. We can come in and dump for the wet bin or load out, kind of deal. So we don't have to, because right now what we have to do if we're coming out of the crop store or the harvest store, we've just been filling the grain cart and then shuttling from the grain cart out to the driveway for the semi trucks, just to make it a little bit easier for them guys. It's faster to get the trucks in and out when the grain cart's full, but they're not trying to wrestle. The big thing is so the trucks don't have to wrestle through the yard, kind of thing. Yeah, big plans. You know, if you look at the last 8-9 years, what the wife and I have been able to build on the farm here, and trying to rebuild it and make it for the new farm. I don't know how to describe it. We came a long ways. Look at a little farmall H still getting her done on that big auger. So we're slowly building back here, and I think the next phase is to get this tree. There's just a little turnaround here. So when I was young, when Dad and Mom were farming here, we'd haul a chopper box around the little turnaround, and you come into each silo, and well, now the equipment's low. When you had a farmall 450 hauling wagons and it was a 12-foot box, this is a lot of room. Now when you're coming in with the Massey and we're trying to figure out how to get a semi in here, it's a whole different game plan. And so we've been building and investing back here, and we've, in the last 7-8 years, we have gone through a massive expansion and a massive amount of investment. I think our next step would to put, as we can go, is to build a line of grain bins off this crop store and knock this little circle down, and the trees around the dryer here, knock them down. And then what Dad and the wife decided was to move all the equipment out to the dry cow pasture for storage, and then we can expand. We can bring the steer pasture right up to the field that we're hauling on, and then build a road from this area. This would all be gravel then, and then have a road head out, a little road to go out to the road, That way semis can come in and they can go to the right bin that we're loading out of and get loaded up and out. And if someday we have our own truck, we can build a pit and we can come in with our own truck and dump and get back to work, kind of deal. And so yeah, we've holy crap, we've really came a long way in the last 5 years. It's kind of scary sometimes, like what on earth are we doing? Every spare nickel, you know, like on a good year, you take all that cash you had left over and you take care of projects, and then you have no cash left over. Then you're like, crap, I need some money, and so I don't know. But yeah, we're trying to figure it out. And so yeah, right out here would be where all the equipment parks and that kind of deal. And so I don't know, it'd be kind of nice. All right, commemorative last load for the manure season. And right, you can kind of see the ridge there. And so I was just kind of driving up, emptying up, and just a little bit left, and then this cross gave out. I don't know what the heck. There's a tuft of hay. There's a little tuft of hay on the back side, so I don't know if it's. I'd like to believe there's shear pin protection. Yeah, I'd like to believe there's shear pin protection, but maybe not. Well, then in all the ruckus, I forgot to shut the floor off, so it pushed the manure up tight. So I'm gonna go get a pitchfork and dig these impellers out, and then see if I've got a shaft that I can. I called Rod, and he said, "Come get across, or we've got other shafts." But instead of driving over there and, you know, that burned up an hour and a half. In an hour and a half, I could probably have it shoveled out by hand and then just wash it up and take it back to him. And so let's shut Big Sexy off and go see what we can get. All right, simple fix. I just dug out around the beaters by hand to make sure there wasn't a rock or something in there. And then I grabbed the PTO shaft off of the grain vac, which had the same ends on each end, you know, the same 541 end, 1000 on the other. It's just a few inches shorter, but worked fantastic. So let's get it up, get it washed off, and then this evening we'll take it back.